Hey all, here OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of the BenQ ScreenBar Lite. Some of you may remember that about this time last year, we did a review on the original screen bar. This one was designed for a large monitor that you may have in the office. It attaches on and acts as an LED lamp. You can change the temperature, it has a sensor to automatically detect and adjust its brightness, and it can also be adjusted in terms of its angle to reduce glare from the monitor, but at the same time cast enough light to read any documents that you have below. The Lite edition is simply designed for your laptop and more portable monitors that you may have, as opposed to being cheaper or a less advanced version of the original. In fact, it still sells for $99, which is definitely pricey for a LED lamp. There's the ambient light sensor. We have touch-sensitive keys that you can use to change the color temperature, adjust it automatically, turn it on or off. It takes power from a USB port, and there's a driver that will be installed when you plug it in so that even when the laptop is in sleep mode, you can still turn the light on or off independently of having the laptop waked up. Now, the tilt here can be adjusted 85 degrees, and it can clamp onto anything as slim as 3 millimeters. The biggest question when I first took a look at its design here was whether or not this would work with laptops like the Dell XPS 13 and other models which have smaller and smaller bezels. Well, after some experimentation, the good news is it is designed to clamp onto as little as possible onto the display. So even if you have an ultra slim bezel, as long as it's larger than 6 millimeters, it still doesn't really obstruct the display. There's also a companion app, which is optional, that you can install on your computer if you want to adjust maybe the temperature as well as some of the color settings. You can use an app to control it, or you can use the touch strip on the very top. The design reminds me of something like a Kinect or a Wii infrared sensor sitting on top of a TV, but it's a little bit larger and bulkier as well. It is constructed out of very premium materials. This is made out of a tempered glass, and then just this angular aluminum, which is machined and feels very sturdy. Finally, on the back, it's again made out of glass, and this is housing the LED lights underneath. And then over here, we have just the clamp itself, which is also made out of aluminum, says BenQ on it. And what's interesting here is you can see there's also a small cutout in the center, which means that if you are positioning it onto a laptop that has a webcam, it doesn't obstruct it. And you can see how the arms on the back are a lot longer than the arms in the front, just to prevent it from blocking out too much of the display. Here I've clamped it onto a ultra portable, and if we lift up the hinge a little bit, you can see, as aforementioned, it has a cutout for the webcam. This is a 13-inch display, so you can see that it's almost edge to edge and a pretty decent fit here. Otherwise, again, the laptop here is of course turned off, but I can now turn the light on. You can see it's independent of the machine waking up. It is going to be very energy efficient, and it's not going to take too much of a toll on your battery life. As we can see here, the buttons are also backlit, so you can make them out even in the dark. Right now we are in the auto mode, so I can tap on this once again. You can see it start to flicker a little bit to try and adjust. And then on the top, the first key here is to adjust the brightness. So tapping on this, I can make it actually brighter here by holding it for a few seconds or tapping it. The bottom key here is making it dimmer. So this is again the minimum brightness versus the maximum, getting brighter and brighter here. And this is the maximum here. Definitely good enough for things like writing comfortably without straining your eyes. Now the next feature here is going to change the color temperature. So if we tap on this icon here, I can make it a lot more cold, so very close to kind of a bluish fluorescent tone versus getting a lot warmer, as you can see here, almost to an orange color, very similar to a candlelight, maybe better for entertainment and relaxing versus for reading. So you can actually change this accordingly, and it actually works really well. The ambient sensor adjusts not only the brightness but also the color temperature as well. So the performance here as far as the light is concerned is actually really good. You can see here how it responds very well to the touch, as well as it's very easy to control. So it's definitely very handy for things like reading, as well as again in the dark. If you have a non-backlit keyboard laptop, it just makes typing a lot easier on an airplane when you're traveling. It just makes work feel a lot more productive and less straining on your eyes. Now, another downside, however, is again, for a laptop, at the end of the day, you can't just put this shut and then take it with you. You still have to unclamp it, which is definitely one extra step to keep in mind. So for example, if I'm done with whatever work I'm doing here, I can't just close this off. I have to kind of turn it off manually, and then I have to unclamp it from the top of the laptop and then put it closed like this. Ultimately, I like the functionality of the ScreenBar Lite a lot more than I was expecting. Compared to those cheaper, flexible LED lights that you may see, this is a lot more quality, as well as its positioning is a lot more genius because it doesn't obstruct or glare the screen at all. I can be watching movies, I can be doing long hours of work, and I still feel comfortable, but at the same time, my hands, the keyboard, the pencil and paper in front of me is fully illuminated. However, unlike the regular ScreenBar, there's definitely the added inconvenience of having to remove it every time that you're on the go, which is something to keep in mind. You can check out more details in the links down below, but for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the BenQ ScreenBar Lite Smart Lamp for Laptops.